Alright, welcome to my ATV Junkyard. We got a gas can, we got a jump pack. We're gonna see what runs, if anything runs. I know a few of these run, but I've had a few people ask to go over my little junkyard collection here, so we're gonna do it right now. So we'll start way over here. This one is a 2008 Yamaha Grizzly 700 that obviously has seen better days. Now this thing, I stole a few parts off of it, so it won't run right now. It actually did run, believe it or not, when I picked it up. Uh, this used to be my old machine. It was in very nice shape when I sold it. It is not now. I mean, you could tell how well they took care of it. They put a light switch for your key switch, and yeah, she's just rough. Anyways, moving on. We got a Polaris Scrambler 400 here, full-wheel drive. I just picked this up. I don't know. I didn't give too much for it, a couple $100 maybe. Motor seized up. She needs a complete rebuild or probably just a parts machine. Over here we got a Kawasaki Prairie 650 V twin. This actually does run. I got my battery in it right now. Let's fire it up. Nope, maybe. So I forgot this one needs a new solenoid. But the big issue with this, well, I'll show you. You're running, turn that choke up a little bit. As you can hear, she's knocking pretty good, or something. I don't know. It's not a real deep knock like a crankshaft would be, but that's what I'm guessing it is. Runs and drives fine. Does smoke a little bit, so it could be very excessive piston slap, I guess, but it would have to be very bad to be that loud. But yeah, so that's that. Moving on, we got a I don't remember what year this is, probably an 05 Kawasaki Brute Force 750. This is obviously torn apart. I took the engine out. This lost its oil and had a bad crankshaft, so it's just sitting right now. I would like to build this eventually. We're gonna go through. We're gonna pick one today. Is gonna be my next project to build here, or rebuild, whatever. Polaris Trail Boss 250. I've actually don't think I've ever had this running. It's just one of those things, you know, you found it for like $150. You got to pick it up. Yeah, motor's locked up. That's kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, they're just hard to find parts. I mean, $150, can't complain, even though the motor's locked up. Right here we got probably an 02, 03 Yamaha Grizzly 660. Very faded. Looks like heck. I mean, it's faded. Looks like it has mildew growing on it. Let's try to start this. It used to run. Alright, so and throw a battery in it. I'm sure I need gas. So yeah, I really like these Grizzlies. This is a 660. I wished I had a 700 to build right. Well, I do have a 700, but it's gonna require a lot of money and a lot of time. So I'm not gonna build a 700 right now. Might build one of these, rebuild one of these Grizzly 660s. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, maybe the dash didn't work. I don't know. See if we got fuel. There's some gas in it. Turn reserve on. Jump the solenoid, I guess. See what we get. Wow. Yeah. It's got a big gun exhaust on it. That's why she's loud, but that thing, this hasn't been running since last year. None of the, well, a couple of my machines have, but most of these haven't been running at all. Let's see, make sure transmission works. Reverse, high, low, seems to work. I don't see any smoke coming out the back of this one. This one's on my list. This one's on my list. But I'm gonna pick something today, and I'm gonna start on it. So you guys probably won't have a say, but we'll see. If you guys got an opinion on what you want to see built, let me know. And once I get one of these, I'm really thinking it's gonna be this machine I'm gonna work on. She's rough, but I can bring her back. But yeah, let me know if which one of these you'd like to see next. We might just do it if it's not too costly. Alright, we'll move over one. This is a 2012 Polaris Sportsman 550. Just recently picked this up, actually. Did a little traded that. If you guys have been watching some of my other stuff, the Cat 500 TRV, actually traded this for it. This runs really good, actually. It fires right up. Runs great. It goes good, but it's got a problem with the front diff. When you go to drive it and slow down, I think the active descent control is acting up, and it just binds up, and it's just not working properly. And so the front diff is going to have to be rebuilt. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. I'll find out when I get to it, but I don't know. That wouldn't be a bad job either. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on. We get a Honda 4Trax 300 here. This one I messed with last year a little bit. I got this most of these machines I got last year, actually. But yeah, this one needed a electrical work. The stator, I narrowed it down to the stator. It needs a new stator. It was burning through my CDI box, so that one is going to be on the back burner. It also, at the time, machines were going high, but I paid $700 for it. Gas tank's rotted, electrical issue, a few other things. I mean, the tires are junk. But yeah, we'll keep going. We got a Honda Foreman S450. This one had some electrical issues too. This one had no fire, so there's no sense of trying to start this because, like I said, it never hasn't ran since I bought it. Definitely has some potential. A lot of people love these Foreman 450s, and to have the foot shifter, this is an S model, not the ES. That's pretty desirable too. Obviously, it needs a little steering work. I think this had quite a few miles on it, but so that's that. Get another Grizzly over here. This one, I don't remember if this ran or not. Try to start it. Alright, so yeah, like I said, I don't remember. Boy, I thought this one ran. This is like either an 02, probably an 03, 04 Yamaha Grizzly 660, special edition, black. This is a pretty nice machine. I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember if it ran or not. I almost think it did, but it smoked maybe. We'll find out. We'll find out. Probably better check the oil. Yeah, we got oil in there, so safe there. Hook the battery up. Now, some of you guys might find this video pretty boring. Others might like it. Let me know what you think. You know, I'd probably enjoy watching something like this, to be honest, but I'm weird like that anyways. I like these junks. We're getting no ignition. Oh, I did pop up. Maybe we're just not in neutral. There we go. Yeah, there is gas in it, but there's not much. Pour a little gas in it. Well, this would be a nice machine to fix, just because it is that special edition. You know, you see a lot of the reds. I got another blue. Actually, I got four Grizzly 660s sitting right here. I'd say it's time to get one of these running. I know that red one runs good, it seems like, so it's probably gonna be that one, but we'll see. Already pretty decent. A little noise in that motor. Smoking. Transmission seems fine, but that's bringing back some memories. I think she's got a bad connecting rod or something. It sounds like rod knock to me. Smoking out the back a little bit. Yeah, so this is a bigger job. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying I'm not going to do it right now. I actually got, like I said, well, we'll keep on moving. The next one over there is a Cat 500. It's probably like a 99 2000. I picked that up on a good deal. It's actually in nice shape, but had some wiring issues. Well, yeah, you can see she got a little hot there, melted the whole wiring harness. So this one, you know, probably worth fixing. It's just haven't got to it yet. Something like that. I think I give $400 for it or something. Look at the speedometer, 994 miles. Not even 1,000 miles on that thing. That one's definitely getting fixed. You know, I say I'm gonna fix all these, but I only got so much time too. I'd like to fix them all. Right here we got a Suzuki Eiger quad runner, 400 cc. This one, same thing. It's a little rough, but you know, I picked it up, good deal. You know, to me, I don't know. I know how much parts cost for these, so when I see this for, I don't know, 350 bucks, 400 bucks, it was somewhere in there. I say, you know, I don't care. I'm going to get it. These tires are spanked. They are flat. I mean, smooth as can be. So, big thing with this, look at what they did. This is the oil dipstick where it's supposed to be. They shoved it. They lost it or something in a mud hole. They shoved a socket in there and then put a piece of cloth or rag inside of it. And then they said it stopped running shortly after. So you know what happened to that. She took on some mud or water and locked her right up. It's fine. I know I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fix this. I really am planning on fixing this thing. I want to tear that motor down just because I've never had a Suzuki Eiger before. It's just something I wanted. You know, I've had Arcticats. I've actually had a 500. I haven't done a review on an older 500 like this on YouTube, but you know, I've done the Grizzly, I've done the Honda Foreman, I've done a Honda 300, I've done all these, or a lot of these, but I have not done a Suzuki Eiger. So it's on the list. Um, I'll probably do a complete tear down of that engine. Now this machine might not even be worth fixing, but give me something to do. I don't have enough to do, obviously. This one, paid too much for it during the pandemic or whatever. Prices were skyrocketing on these. They were hard to find. I picked this thing up. I think I paid $700 for it. It was missing a CDI box, missing a few different parts. The biggest thing was the CDI box, and I didn't even know about that. And come to find out, it's like $300-400 used. Crazy. Because this is a standard model, 400. Basically the same motor as the Eiger. They use the Suzuki 400, except this is the standard semi-automatic. You know, you could get the Eiger in semi-automatic also. This one's automatic, but yeah, so this one needs some work. It wasn't even just that CDI box. I pulled apart the magneto on this, and the magnets in there, the glue let go, and they were just floating around. So it needs a magneto, needs a CDI box, and who knows what else. It seemed to have good compression and stuff, and it's got like 4,000 miles on it. But one of those things, probably a parts rig. An Arcticat, what is this thing? It's Arcticat 250. I don't even know what they called these things. That might be what they're called, the 250. Two-wheel drive. I got two of them. This one is a 2007, it looks like. Hard to read that. This one's a 05. Or an 06, depending on what the month was. So they're probably right around there, same year and stuff. This one, the plastics are in a lot better shape as far as they're not faded. But it's missing the racks. Actually, I bought this one. This one ran. I stole a couple parts off of it right now, but this one did run, and it drove good. In high range, it seemed like it was almost stuttering a little bit. Like it seemed like the belt was slipping when you were going fast. Taking off, it was fine, but you get up to top speed, and it was just, you know, pulsating a little bit. It wasn't right. I looked them up, and they're known to strip out the little gears in the transmission. So I'm guessing that's what happened to that one. But anyways, driving around a little bit like it was. I mean, it went fine, and then happened to look in the coolant, and it was out of coolant. So that kind of sucked because obviously I put coolant in it, and the thing won't even run. It locked the motor up. So there's that big of a hole. I don't know if it's in the head or the head gasket, maybe, but it's a big hole to let so much coolant in the cylinder that it'll lock it right up. Pull the plug, pulled that thing over, just whew, it went everywhere. That spark plug hole. This thing actually runs great. I bought this one for parts because of the racks and stuff for this. And that ended up needing an engine. This one I bought. I was told it ran. It was sitting. Like I said, I bought it for parts anyways. I don't remember. I think I give $500, $700, something like that for this, and I paid like $350 for this one. So I'm getting up there between the two. But yeah, I stole the CDI box, I think, or something off of that one for this one, just to see if it would run. And as you can tell, she runs pretty good. Runs pretty good, you know. Seats shot and stuff. Got a little clatter in there, but could be the valves. The only way to drive this is like this. And so these have, they're automatic. They got high, low, neutral, reverse. Come to find out, high range, it doesn't do anything. So this one is really stripped out. Low range, you can drive this thing around all day long, runs fine. But so that's what's wrong with that one. So I don't know. Might get fixed one of these days. Between the two, should be able to make one. This right here. Actually, I was working on this. I was about to work on this today. This is a 96, 97 Cat Bearcat 454. I just had one of these. And I mean, you can tell I got quite a few machines. I don't even remember what I sell, what I buy. I went to hop on because I had another one of these. You know, it ran and drove pretty good, but I went to hop on it the other day. I forgot I sold it. So I come out here and I was like, okay, well, let's fix this up because I wanted to hop on that and I was kind of irritated. Not really, I needed the money, so you know, they have to go. Can't hold on to them forever. That one had like 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it. This one's got almost 2,600 miles, but it does need a top end. The cylinder piston, the cylinder's taken out of it. And I went to pull it in. I bought new rings and stuff for it because the cylinder was in good shape on this, but it must have got water on it. I went to hone it out, and it had a groove in it. So that one's sitting for now. This Brute Force 650, this thing runs, but I mean, I'm not even gonna start it because it sounds so bad. Yeah. So yeah, funny story with this one. This is why, you know, you really got to look at your machines when you know, you got to know what you're looking for when you go look at stuff. This was posted for, I don't remember, 1,500, 1,000 bucks, something like that. Anyways, needed a clutch work. Yeah, well, I had my, you know, I was a little skeptical when I went to look at this thing. I said, well, can we fire it up? Well, no, it won't start. I said, what do you mean it won't start? Well, it turns over kind of hard because of the clutch. That right there is a dead giveaway. Crank's locked up. It does start, but I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. You can't hear it. Like I said, I'm not going to start it because that thing's it's ready to come through the case. Right here we got a 2014, 2015, somewhere in there, Polaris ACE 570. This one picked up in Maine early last year. Paid $1,000 for it, I think. That's what it was. I paid $1,000. So he had a motor for this, a 570 motor for this, and he had it listed $1,000 for the machine, and $1,500 for the engine. So $2,500 to get yourself a nice run in Ace, right? I said, yeah, that's a good deal. So I drove there. It was in Rangeley. Went to go get it. Picked it up. Everything looked fine. He had the paperwork for the engine where he bought it on eBay. Anyways, I got it home. Went to throw the engine in there. Didn't quite fit. I was like, what the heck? Looked him up. Polaris Sportsman 570 is a different engine than the Ace or the Razor 570. So I'm stuck with an engine that doesn't work for this. The case is different, so it doesn't bolt up at all. I did find another project to use that engine on, so it didn't go to waste. But this one, I'm still searching, or possibly rebuild one. No, I didn't get an engine with this. There was no old engine, so there's no rebuild on that one. I got to find the motor. So right here we have I don't even know what we have. This is one of those cheap Chinese brands, like a Hyson or Coleman. Got an M. Massimo, I bet. I don't know. It's a Yamaha Rhino clone. This is a 500 fuel injected. This needed a top end. Gotta get to that sometime. It's just blowing coolant out of it. So we'll see. I did skip one over here, didn't I? I got they were not really projects, but I got my three-wheeler, Yamaha Tri-Moto 200 and the Moto 4 200. Another Grizzly 660. This one runs. This one smokes, but it runs. We already started up a few of them, so I'm not going to start it up. But this one, probably needs a new top end. The engine sounded good. It's burning oil. So over there we got a couple parts machines, Sportsman 500s. Both of them are 500s, and then all the parts that go with them. We got a Can-Am. I gotta fix this one one of these days. This is a Can-Am Outlander 800 XTP. Pretty nice machine. It's like a 2011, I believe. So what happened with this is the transmission blew. Look at the shaft here. It's completely junk. So, and then it destroyed the clutches. They were rubbing on this. Actually, if you can look at the back, you can see even the primary, the secondary was completely shot, but the primary even shot. This thing ran good, but I need a transmission. We got a monster Grizzly 660 right here. This is like an 02, 03. I guess some big old Mudzillas on it. What are they? 27s. They look big though. But yeah, this one did run, but it smoked so much. You'd have to literally put a spark plug in it after 5 minutes of running. It was literally that bad. So we gotta do that one someday. As you can see, I started tearing it apart, just didn't get there. Old Grizzly 600. This is a Yamaha Grizzly 600. This one, complete parts rig. Look at the freaking carnage if you can see it. Funny thing is with this thing, I picked it up for parts rig. I got other Grizzly 600s, but the engine was all intact. I knew it didn't run. It was seized up or something. I don't remember, but yeah, I pulled the cylinder head off, and that's what I found in there. It's just there was no piston in it. The rod's right there. The pin's still in it, but the piston, I don't know if it's down there now or what. It was sitting in the bottom of the thing. It ruined the head, so there wasn't much good with that one. Got a Polaris 250, old 2-stroke. This is a Trail Boss. Yeah, Trail Boss maybe. 250 4x4. Yeah, she just, I think it needed a motor job or something. I don't know. Picked it up cheap. Actually bought that in a package with 3 others. Well, 2 others. Yeah, I fixed the others, so I made my money on them, and this one just sits here waiting for me to do something with it. You know what? That's all over here, but that's not all I got. As you can tell, I got quite a few machines. I have a problem. My wife tells me every day. I know. So yeah, over here we got a Honda. This is an 04 Honda Foreman 450 ES. This one, the transmission was locked up on it. Completely locked up. But, and I stole a few parts. That's the problem. I get these things, and, I get so many of them that this one doesn't run, or the transmission's messed up, and then I get another one that just needs, a couple pieces of fenders, carburetor, and I steal it off there, and then it's hard to fix that one again. That's the way it works. Fix one, make a little money, get on to the other ones. These ones are in the bushes. They have parts rigs. This is a Polaris. I thought I got a really good deal on this. Actually, I still probably did. This is a Polaris 500 HO ATP. So the all-terrain pickup. Got the little dump bed in the back. Kind of a neat rig. I knew it didn't have a front differential in it. They took that out. I was told the engine ran, needed carburetor work. Yeah, sure. Check the compression, 0. I mean, it did not even move my gauge. So that one's, you can rebuild them fairly cheap. but you need a front diff. That's quite a bit of money. So it ended up being the parts rig. Got a Scrambler 400 two-stroke here. You know, I would like to fix this one of these days. Between this one and the one over there, we'll get to it one of these days. That's another Polaris Sportsman 500 EFI. You know, out of the 3 I got, I might be able to make one. Now, I picked this one up. I don't know. I drove to Massachusetts for this thing or something like that. Picked this one up because I didn't even know it existed. Actually, the Frontier, Polaris Frontier 4-stroke. It's a 750 twin cylinder. Basically, it's like a Sportsman 700 engine or something, but or 800, but it's 750. Kind of neat rig. Never got it running, but that's an old Polaris 250. That's an old Polaris 250. And I'd like to fix them. They're just not worth much. Now, for me to bomb around on is one thing, but for me to make any money, not really worth fixing. Over here, I got so many Honda Foreman Rubicons. I got they're literally everywhere, and I probably have 5, 6, and between 5 or 6, I think I have one good Honda Matic transmission. Just they're known to go. Under here, we got another Grizzly 600. I believe that one needed engine work, something. I don't really know. Parked here for a reason, obviously. We got a parted out Arctic Cat. Oh, that's kind of a neat rig over here. Buried in the bushes. Got a Polaris 250. Got a Polaris 250 Cyclone under here. This is kind of rough, but you don't. It's a 1987. They only made it 1 year. Kind of a neat little rig. Got a Sportsman 800 twin right here. This is a 08 maybe, somewhere in there. This one has seen better days. We have one connecting rod. Our other one broke off down in there. So, oh, and right there, went right through the case. So, you know, if I ever find a motor, that'll be fixed. These fenders are off a Sportsman 850. Another Grizzly 600 right there. This one, I don't even remember. So many rigs. What's left of a wrecked Grizzly 660, green one. Polaris 350L, I think it's junk. Another Rubicon. Oh! I said I had 4 Grizzly 660s. Lied. I got another one down here. She's rough, but it is a Grizzly 660. Oh, we got a Yamaha Kodiak 400 right here. It's rough, really rough. You know, it's one of them things, 250 bucks, you gotta buy it. Kodiak 450 right there. This one's got a bad engine. Parts. Oh, we got a few more down here. We got a Polaris Sportsman 500 6x6. This one needed an engine. She just sits here. Look at the rubber on the back of that though. Brand new rear tires. Just a lot of junk. Snowmobiles. This is kind of more of a snowmobile graveyard, but we do have a Honda 200 down here, 3-wheeler. We come in here, we got Yamaha Trimoto 225 DX. I gotta fix that one of these days. Needs a lot of work. It was a something cheap. We got a Polaris Scrambler 250. Blew the top end in that not too long ago. She's got very low compression, so gotta fix that. We got my Polaris Diesel 455s. A couple of these projects. We got a Polaris 350L. That one never did anything with it. I don't even know much about that. That Can-Am, that one just, ugh. So this is another one of those stories where, you don't trust people selling stuff. Anyways, this one was for sale for $2,300. Didn't need anything. That's a good deal for a Can-Am Outlander 650. So I went right out, tried it out. It did run great, It ran real good. It didn't look bad. The tires were dry rotted. They were junk when I got it. They looked, they got brand new tread basically, but they were dry rotted. They were junk. As you can see, it doesn't have an engine in it right now. Well, I went to drive it. I drove it around his house for a little bit. Never checked, I checked the oil in it and it was good. Never checked the coolant. I took that thing for a ride. Got up to what I call the wood yard. If you watch my test drive videos, pretty much where you start, where I go up the little hill, you always lock it in full drive, test out the full drive, go up that little hill. Got to there, and this thing, the red light come on, overheating. Now, it wasn't blowing steam or anything, but the red light come on. So I shut it off, let it cool down. Started it back up. It was fun, it went off. Tried to make it back to the house, got about halfway, and it did the same thing. I shut it off, and I walked back to the house, got my wife. She came pick me up, let it cool down completely, opened the coolant, and it was bone dry. I put coolant in it, and it leaked out as soon as I put it in, right on the ground. There was a hole in the engine block. They had JB Weld on it, and it was just not good. I was irritated at that. $2,300 just sitting here. Yeah. Now I could part it out, but I could also build it. Just it irritates me so much when people sell stuff. I know it happens every day, but people sell stuff and they know that there's a problem with it and they don't tell you that. I just sell a lot of stuff and I don't do business that way. If there's any issue, I try not to sell anything that has any issues, but if there's any issues, I'll tell them. Sometimes stuff comes up. You don't know about everything, but I'll also, if somebody calls me up and says, hey, there was this problem, I'll either fix it for them or give them the money back. That's how I work. Right here we got a Eiger Cat 650 V twin. It's been sitting here for several years, just like that. I bought it dirt cheap. The motor was, when I bought it, it was sitting just like this, except that the plastics were all together. But I bought it dirt cheap, but it had tracks on it. I bought it for the tracks for another 650 V twin I had. But I have a use for that now. You'll see in a minute. Oh, we got the sled. We got a Kawasaki Voyager. You guys ever seen one of this? This is look how wide that engine is. It might be hard to tell, but it's wide. That's a freaking straight 6, inline 6, 1300 Kawasaki Voyager. Now this is a 80s. Everything's digital, fuel injected. Pretty ahead of its time for a bike. We got a DR 650 dual sport there. That one's seen better days. I bought that from kind of bought it from my brother. So if you know anybody looking for a nice DR, the connecting rod is not bent or anything, It's a little tweaked, but it just sits there. Well, that's my running diesel, or was running anyways. Got a Grizzly 600 here. this one runs. Needs a little bit of work. Kodiak 450. That's a pretty nice machine, except a blue low range in it. No. The only thing that works is low range. Everything else is locked up. So there's some linkage issues internally, unfortunately. But remember how I said I could use that other Arctic Cat? I bought this 650. This thing runs like a charm. I'm not going to start it up because we're probably already running pretty long into the video here. Man, that thing is really disintegrated. But yeah, she runs great. I picked this thing up for $500, and you know, it's a parts machine because look at it. He is rusty. They used it to plow, and I mean, really rusty. The A-arms are broke right off of it. The frame is rotted. Like, I mean, it's not even surface rust. It's like you could, chip away at that and get right in there. She's bad. I think it's an 04 Arctic Cat 650 V twin. But I'm going to use this motor in that other frame I was just talking about, the one I bought with the tracks on it. Tracks are long gone, but so I'm sure I missed some, but that's a lot of my collection. A lot of it's junk, but there's potential in all of it. I don't know. I see potential in it. A lot of people might not, but so you'll see some of these projects coming up here pretty soon. I'm gonna start on that Grizzly, the 660, the first one I started. I think it was the first one I started. The red one faded. We're gonna pull that in the garage right now, and I'm gonna go make sure the engine's good. It sounds good and everything, but then we're gonna work on the cosmetic issues. So let me know what you guys would like to see next after that one, because if it's plausible and won't cost them a bunch of money, yeah, I'll definitely get onto it. And then I'll do a video of the rebuild, do a video of a test drive when it's done, and it'll be pretty neat, I think. Let you guys decide. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a few different answers. We'll go with the majority. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the little tour. If I bored some of you, sorry. It is what it is.